Good evening, children. Gravitation 5. We were doing gravitation field strength, right? How did we define it? EG output is F by m naught. This m naught is called test mass, right? And after that, for a point mass, we showed that EG equals minus Gm by r square r cap. And we said there's a principle of superposition. Net E, because of many point charges, will be vector sum of field strength due to individual charges. This also we did, right? And then we went for finding out the E of continuous mass distributions, which we said will be calculated like this. We'll calculate dE due to one small element, which is like a point mass, so that I can use this formula for EG and then integrate for the whole thing. In doing so, we did one of the examples. What was that? For an extended object like a rod like this, what is a gravitational field strength at some distance L we did? That's where I think we stopped, right? Or did we do anything more than that? See, hello? This is where we stopped, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is the heading we are dealing with, the gravitational field strength. And of course, in the middle, I've told you that as far as gravitation is concerned, the acceleration due to gravity and EG are one and same, I told you. Okay, from the principle of equivalence, which is what? The gravitational mass and inertial mass are same. Therefore, this EG, though we define it as Newton per kg, it will be also be meters per second square, isn't it? Newton per kg convert. It comes as meters per second square. That means this has the acceleration's dimension. Even this has got the dimensions of acceleration and units of acceleration. So this is what we're talking as far as gravitational fields are concerned until now. So we'll further continue from here. The most important thing is we need to find out the gravitational field strength due to a spherical shell first. Okay. Gravitational field strength due to a spherical shell or of a spherical shell, doesn't matter. Gravitational field strength due to, I wrote, you can also say of a spherical shell. What is a spherical shell? Shell is anything which is hollow inside, but the outer thing can be of any shape. We can talk of a peanut shell. We can talk of what you call, what else other than spherical? Many dry fruits, nuts. When you open the two flaps and throw the seed out, that becomes a shell. But specifically, right now, we are dealing with a spherical shell. This will have, however small, there will be some thickness like this. But of course, it has got uniform mass distribution. Uniform mass distribution. Hope you understood what it means. All over the shell, mass per unit length will be same. Mass per unit shell like this, mass per unit area will be same. Okay, that's what you mean by uniform shell. Let us consider mass of this is to be M. The radius R. So finally, I would like to get my gravitational field strength of this shell in terms of this M, R, and probably G, because G is a constant, it keeps coming everywhere. Three cases arise. One is, look at a distance R greater than R, at a distance R equals R, at a distance R less than R, and probably one more case R equals 0. So these four cases we need to address. What? At R greater than R, at R equals R, at R less than R, and at R equals 0. I'll continue, children, actually. I can rub this off because this is anyway getting recorded on the left-hand side. I'll rub this off so that I don't need to draw the figure all over again in the next slide. So I'll rub this off here. People give it a name. The name, as we call it, a shell theorem. In fact, the way to derive this is from the inverse square law, but that requires some mathematics, some integration. What kind of a maths you may require? Listen to me. I'll consider one ring element here, which may be described by theta and d theta, like that. So due to this ring element, you would like to find out the gravitational field strength here and integrate it over the full surface of the shell to get the gravitational field strength here. Do you follow what I speak? We'll consider one ring element in the shell like this. This ring may be described by certain angles, right? Theta, and this thickness is d theta. Due to this ring, what is the gravitational field strength? And then once you know that, how to get it for the whole shell is a regular method, children, which requires some kind of a maths, which is not so difficult, but which may look a little lengthy. For you not to lose the meaning of it, I will not do that first. I'll tell you the results. And the results I'll support by a theorem called Gauss theorem for gravitation, which is going to come later in electricity, Gauss theorem for electricity. Then we can come back to do the calculation here. That's where my heading shell theorem is important. According to this, for R greater than R, shell is like a point mass at the center. Like a point mass at the center. Okay, what do you mean by that? At this point, R greater than R, I can simply write Eg equals Gm by R square. By putting the heading like shell theorem, I am giving you the results directly. Of course, there are various ways of arriving at that. But let us see. Finally, applications. The problem solving is important. But even this, we're not going to give it very blindly. We'll give some proper reasoning to it. Now, at R equals R, it's still like a point mass. Point mass at the center. And we can write EG at that is GM by R square. The third, for R less than R and also for R equals R, EG equals 0. So this is the essence, the meaning of what we call as shell theorem. Hope you people are writing.
R is equal to R, there are two cases.
R equals R.
We said it is a point mass and then EG is 0.
EG is
0.
R less than R.
In the third.
Sorry, R equals 0. I'm sorry. Is R equals 0. Varshita, you're not being regular. Something is happening at home. This is R equals 0. So yeah, that's a mistake. Now,
Yes.
if at all, I would like to show that in a graphical way. You can draw EG here, R here. If you take both plus center, you take the origin and do, both the sides will get a similar graph. It will be 0. It won't be there. The value won't be there at all until you come to R equals R. This R equals 0. So later it is inverse. It changes as 1 by R square. Okay. Do you follow? The everywhere, and this side also you can put. It changes as 1 by R square. Okay. Now, if you finished it, I'll continue to the next page. But you'd also invited to raise any question.
When we are inside the graph,
Emma?
does that when we are plotting the graph on the left side, does it mean that there are two masses around the sphere?
No. like if you take mod r here, this is okay. But if I want to take this side and that side, it is like this.
Yes, sir. Like both the sides, if we want to take, it means that there are masses on both the sides, test masses.
I did not get you. This whole thing is like a point mass here. So all around it, it has got a field, right? So
Yes.
here it is 0, here it is 0, but here it is gm by r square. 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 Everywhere, all around it, like a point mass is a spherical symmetry of the field lines you get if you want towards the center. Tell me. If you take only the magnitude of r here, one graph is enough.
Yes, sir, that I understand.
But when you put this, what is that you are trying to tell? What am I trying to tell is all over this side, that
Both
side,
the sides.
this side, and if you say this side, that side, this is not necessary, of course, because anyway, this side is everywhere, all over, isn't it? Not only left, it will be even this side, that side, everywhere. Okay, if that is confusing you, just remove that. Because some people put it like that, so I thought, okay, better remove that. Not only xy plane, no, it is all in three-dimensional. All right. There are no two masses, only one mass at the center. I told you already. See, physics has connections from one to the other, previous one to the other. If there's a point mass, there's a field around it. At a distance r, we said gm by r square. And I also told you, if you know this field strength, you can multiply with the test mass placed here and get the force on it. That's how the field idea explains force was our discussion. But now when you take a shell, is it a point mass? So you cannot write gm by r square just like that. But it so happens that because of the spherical symmetry, if you do a lot of maths like this, ultimately you'll end up with the result that at an external point like small r greater than r, it is still like a point mass at the center. So without actually calculating, I was telling you that. All right. And we can justify how it is 0 inside a little different way. I'll continue, children. Now, for example, at the center, you think at the center, why is it 0? If you want to say, if you want to understand, it's easy to understand. Take symmetrically opposite equal masses, dm like this. The distance is r here, distance is r there. So a test mass placed would have been attracted by this, with the equal force, right? Like that, the whole sphere can be thought of as many point masses diametrically opposite to each other. So the net force on a test mass will be 0 there. Therefore, you can simply say the gravitational field strength is 0 at the center. I hope people followed it. All this is required in physics. When you do a problem, every word I speak comes in some way, in some form or the other, in a given question. In various questions, you keep getting the same ideas. But to prove that at some other point 0, we need to go a little solid angle way. It so happens, of course, I'll just tell you in a simple way. Say if I imagine this to be two parts like this, you got a lesser mass here and a lesser distance here. You got more mass here, more distance here. Quite possible that gm by r square, dimensionally speaking, maybe 0. Maybe 0. Why? All this mass will attract somewhat this way, All this must attract this way, and it's quite reasonable that the field values may be equal also. But to actually prove, you need to have what we call as the solid angle idea. Even that also I don't mind doing. You can do from regular algebra. You can go by applying inverse square law with solid angle. But for that I need to define solid angle first. The solid angle, if you take solid angle idea and use inverse square law, at every point for this you will prove to be 0. Not only for this, even for any other shell also, you will prove that everywhere EG is 0. So one of the very important points I'm talking. I'm not proving it yet. Even before proving, actually, one should be familiar with the idea and familiar with the possibility of the idea, and you can apply it, and then you can come back actually to go for the proof. Okay, I myself prefer proofs, but nowadays what's happening, you people, when I'm doing proofs, all that, something you feel to be following, but later application is becoming very bad. The reason maybe, after all the thing, what is that gist of it? What is that final idea I should use somewhere? I think that's missing. So the idea we need to have put in our mind formally is what? For any shell, any mass shell, this is a mass shell in general. Inside anywhere, the gravitational field strength is 0. So that is one point actually we need to understand. Here I've shown you the possibility of that becoming 0. Less mass and less distance. Once again, there's a kind of symmetry here. Like force will be finally towards this. Force of this part will be finally towards this. Okay. So they both are opposite. Therefore, it's very reasonable, quite possible that EG equals 0. But this will happen because of specifically what I call as the force being inversely proportional to R square. What will happen is the solid angle and the mass, that will decide how much mass is there here, what solid angle it will makes. This mass will be proportional to area here. So this R square, that R square cancelling out, you'll get forces equal here. So masses and distances will ensure that at any point, masses and distances along with the inverse square law will ensure that any place inside you place a mass, the force of that will be 0. It doesn't mean to say that if there's a mass outside, this cannot apply force on the mass inside. It will, but we are talking about what? We are talking about the field inside a shell, including any other irregular shell, is 0. That means whatever mass you place inside this shell, that mass does not experience force because of the shell. That's the main idea. All right. So I'm talking so much. So you're welcome to put questions.
Sir, you said solid angle.
Actually, why are you going to that? I'm asking you, our idea is to say that the inside field is 0. Solid angle I have to discuss to discuss this first. I'll discuss it slowly. I told you already. I'm only asking you to take the idea that for any shell inside, gravitational field strength is 0. Then after applying it, we'll see.
Sir, but for irregular masses,
also there will be elements in such a way that the force will cancel out. There will be opposite elements. If I take any point here, actually I have no problem. My point is, like if you take like this is a more mass you get, this is less mass you get, and this will cancel. The proofs are there, don't worry. I told you, even there I did not apply this inverse square law. I did not apply, I did not prove the mathematics.
Yes.
So even this I am not proving right now. You earn the right to prove it only by application after applying this idea to various questions. Because in that voluminous this thing, people are somehow not catching what is important and how to do it. Proof is actually to completely understand it and then apply later, not just understand and leave it. No, the solid angle idea is anywhere there. That we discussed in electricity also. That I cannot avoid there because that means there will be so many questions on flux there. Here in gravitation, that's not so important. No, remember, don't get me wrong. I'm going to prove it. This proof should not bother you, should not stop you in applying it somewhere. Do you follow my point, Sriya? Because application is looking very weak. Right. Now, I'll continue. For the shell, we took few things for granted. Of course, the main reasoning here that they will become zero is that field is inversely proportional to R square. Remember that. Tell me. So, what are the results? I talked until now about a shell, spherical shell especially.
Results.
Results
Finally,
I want.
Small r greater than capital R, the shell will act like a point mass at the center.
Yeah.
Small r is equal to capital R also, it will be a point mass.
Yeah.
If small r is less than capital R or equal to 0,
everywhere it is 0.
Then the field strength will also be 0.
So, when you say field strength is 0, what is the consequence of that? It won't apply force. It won't apply force on some other body placed anywhere inside the shell.
Inside the
shell.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes. Now, gravitational field strength of a uniform solid sphere. Okay. Probably Earth, for example. But right now, you do not have to say it is Earth. You can just simply do it. A uniform solid sphere I have. I'll use a space here properly. Put a solid sphere here. Now, Sriya, no, actually, maths you follow the axiomatic. Physics, why don't you people follow? I don't understand it. Now, something is bothering you people. In maths, don't you follow axioms and do the things? Of course, the only thing is people should not give you wrong reasoning for the axioms or wrong axioms. Now, let us start that for a shell, it is 0 inside, outside, it acts like a point mass. With that idea, Sri, I will try now the field strength of a solid sphere of uniform density. Come on. How to use this idea to get this? That is actually main idea in intermediate level and IIT JEE level or whatever level. Its radius is R, mass is M. So, at a point external to the sphere, that is R greater than R, it is still like a point mass. Or vector form you would like to write. minus gm by r square r cap. For this, if you use the old thing and you understand this, that's what actually, Sriya, the whole thing is this now. Now tell me, anybody else? The idea of shell theorem, apply it here and tell me that even for the solid sphere, it is like a point mass at the center at an external point. Why don't you speak? Look, the shell can be, the solid sphere can be thought of many shells, each shell being replaced by a point mass at the center. The idea is that what the solid sphere can be thought of as what? Many
shells.
Concentric shells. Right? Each being represented by
a point mass at the center.
Yes. So this is what I want. Point mass at the center.
So therefore, collectively their mass will be M.
Huh?
So collectively their mass will be M.
Yes, collectively all the points mass will be total mass M. All right?
Yes.
And 2 at R equals R, it still remains same. It is Eg equals Gm by capital R square. The second. Okay, people, write it please. Don't sleep. Should I continue? Aryan, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
So as this keeps happening, you should all the time think that, yeah, if it is told that somewhere inside it is 0, it's going to be used somewhere. If it is told that it acts like a point mass, somewhere it is going to be used. So this I want in your mind to settle in a proper way. Because when I discuss theory, okay, more elaborate I go, more happier you are. But when you do problems, you're not connecting it. Problems are separate, this is separate. So what is the point? The whole idea of discussing theory threadbare is to reduce your trouble by half, 50%, because many a time people do without understanding, and physics won't work. To some extent, math works because some kind of a logical connection people make, some sequential logic they remember. So it works. And in chemistry, some information you remember. Remember, even there at a higher level, you cannot do chemistry maths unless you know why you're doing things, not only just how. But in physics, you cannot. So I myself go very, very details. But what's happening? You're listening to details and feeling comfortable and going into comfort zone. Forgetting that you're not applying things properly. Okay. Now tell me, I've given you an opportunity. I have given you one solid sphere and I asked you to use that shell idea and talk about it. You did not. So there's no anticipation. No? What's the point? Now, at a point inside, now I'll come to the same idea in many ways, just you'll see. But one at a time, don't go be ahead of me. Because at this level, there's nothing which is not already known, not somebody else did not ask. People have asked already all these questions and we addressed it. Now at a point inside, is all solid sphere. At a point inside r less than r, it looks as if only this mass is the reason for attraction. Now for this, you tell me the reason. Look, the outer shells, for all the outer shells, this point will be an inner point, right? Internal point. So the shells contribute 0. So ultimately, it looks as if only effectively this mass is applying force on another mass placed here. This mass is, total mass is mr. The point P we consider, remember when I said it's only due to this mass, don't say these things are not doing anything. They are attracting, but the net attraction due to the outer shells is 0 at this point, because P is a point, P is an internal point for all the shells outside. P is an internal point for the shells outside this point. So all the shells together contribute 0. All the shells together contribute 0 field strength. So ultimately, it is only because of this inner mass, whose mass may be put as m. So for this, it's like a point mass here, and you can write the old formula. So Eg at that point P will be at P, that is r less than r. I could write Gm by r square. This is r now. Neither m is known, not r is known. So I'll do something. G into 4 by 3 pi r cubed into rho, where rho is density, by r square. So it is 4 by 3 pi g r rho. If you write in vector form, Eg equals minus 4 by 3 pi g r bar rho, saying that is towards center. Rho is what? Mass, total mass by 4 by 3 pi r cubed, which is supposedly constant everywhere. So we came down to one most important relation once again, 4 by 3 pi g r rho. Tell me, Sriya.
So here again, if we think of it as many shells, concentric shells,
Yeah.
The
outer shells will be
above or 0.
For the outer shells, this will be an internal point. For the inner shells, it is an external point, right?
External.
Yeah, this is the thing I want you to develop. And even this is not enough. You need to know how to apply it, but this is a minimum thing. This is where we need to start doing another question future. So if I showed it by a graph, children, what kind of a graph will I get? E gravitational versus R, if I plot, don't you think inside is directly proportional to R? Huh? So a relation like this. And outside, this way.
Inverse square.
Inside directly as R. And naturally now when you say R, at R equals 0, Eg will be 0.
Yes, sir.
So what do you mean by that? At this R equals R, it is maximum. But if you go down here, changes linearly. At halfway through r by 2, it will be half. But here, if you go half, it will reduce by what? From
1
here
by
to here. 1 by 4 times. Huh? So,
yes.
though both the sides are decreasing, outside it changes more, it changes less here. In other words, remember, this is what is there for G. I did not mention this earth and all that. Whatever I'm doing is actually applicable for
So how
earth.
is it decreasing both the sides?
Now
Because
only you can tell, no?
it is increasing from 0 to capital R, sir. From 0 to R, it is increasing.
Linearly.
Yes, sir.
The mass will tell you. See, that gravitation field strength is affected by mass and R square, isn't it?
Yes.
So mass is proportional to R cubed. So it is changing directly as R inside, right? Whereas outside, the total mass is there. No? Total mass is at the center. So simply inversely proportional to R square. The mass here is the mass inside. Actually, this gives a wrong impression that the outside is doing nothing work. It's actually doing, that's making it 0. Every point here outside this cell is attracting this point if I place a point mass. But in effect, they produce 0. So this is not as if there's only one mass here. It's actually the effect of all the mass, which is like this. Okay.
Yes.
Kartav. Gravitation field strength is the most important thing, and you keep understanding things now. In electricity, electric field strength becomes easier. Almost you can follow some relevant logical steps and be comfortable with both. See, for this lesson, sky is the limit because it is gravitation. Gravitation is there all over, all pervading force. So we can discuss so much. Right. Can I continue, children, now? Are you writing? And what is the purpose of gravitational field strength? I told you, Shreya, that don't forget that. What is the purpose of finding out gravitational field strength?
To determine the force.
Force later on a test mass.
Test mass.
That means test mass means a mass which is supposedly placed here in this field of this gravity, in this field of this gravity of this sphere. And see the motion of it, how it moves, whatever. That's what you mean by central force motion, right?
Yes, sir.
So, of course, you may also write it if you want. Which way? You wrote it like this, no? Inside G equals, you can substitute this m by 4 by 3 pi r cube and also write the formula. That form also you can remember. Eg equals, tell me, 4 by 3 pi G R rho. Rho is total mass by 4 by 3 pi r cubed. Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
4 by 3 pi G R rho. Now what is it becoming? You tell me now. G M R by
capital R cube.
Yes. All right. Now, an immediate application I'll show. But once again, the summary. And one important heading under gravitation is gravitational field strength. Very important heading. You go back to the first 4 to 5 headings I've given. Maybe are in the third heading, I think. Very elaborate discussion we'll do on that. But I want you to catch the main points, the principles, keeping in mind that these things are going to be applied later in solving problems. Now, immediately, I'll throw you one question. Can I move? Are you writing, children? Vaishnavi, M.
Yes, sir.
Boys,
Done.
Sri and Balavardhan.
Yes.
Rohit, are you there? Once again, 10 plus people are missing. I don't know how long people are going to blame online classes and COVID. Remember, I don't want to scare you, but if you don't learn, you'll have the double disadvantage. One disadvantage is already there. Your batch will be called COVID batch. And of course, because you're intermediate, maybe you may not face that trouble like the engineering graduates are facing now. The private industry will be very careful now to recruit from this people who passed without writing exams. Do you know? So that is already a disadvantage put by the conditions. The second disadvantage for you will be if you don't learn now in the name of online class and COVID. I tell you, this is an excuse for some people. Otherwise, what is missing? Everything is happening. No? It may not be happening in some big groups and all that. I know everybody here, sirs know everybody here. You are given freedom to talk. Everything is shown like we're writing it, we're talking to you. Let me see. Because when I call your names also, you're not talking. So that's something very bad. Right. Now, the most famous example. How much elaboration I'll do on this, you keep watching. I have one. So this is my earth. Consider this to be uniform. Consider uniform mass distribution. Made a diametric hole. Very thin, of course. Making a hole should not affect the gravitational field of that is the main idea. Now drop a body here. Drop means freely drop. U equals 0. First show the motion is simple harmonic, which we actually had a problem in simple harmonic motion, if you remember. Find the time period. So it's based on what we did previously. Okay, this is a question figure. I will not write on that. I'll show a solution figure. Okay. Now, I'll consider the mass when it is a distance r from center or x from center. It is dropped. It is here. We know that effectively this mass is the one which is attracting it here, right? So if this mass is m, force on that mass will be m into gravitational field strength there. What is the gravitational field strength there? 4 by 3 pi g r rho, isn't it? So acceleration will be f by m. will be equal to 4/3 pi g. Tell me, r rho. So A is proportional to r. Of course, if you write in vector form, you'll also get a minus sign. Motion is simple harmonic. Isn't it? A is proportional to x. Here x is r. Motion is simple harmonic. So where omega square is what? Sorry, other than this. Huh? Omega square equals 4/3 pi g rho.
Yes.
Do you follow? So time period you can calculate all the time. We may write it as, if you want, 4/3 pi g m by 4/3 pi r cubed. So what do I get, children? What do I get here? Pi also cancels. Gm by what? R cubed. Hello. So 2 pi by t whole square is equal to Gm by r cubed. So t square equals 4 pi square r cube by Gm. T equals 2 pi root r cube by Gm.
Got it.
Now, see, for Earth, we call G as the acceleration gravity on the surface of the Earth. We write as Gm by r square, isn't it? Just now we have seen.
Yes, sir.
So Gm equals what? G surface, I'll write. G surface into r square. So this formula can also be written as T equals 2 pi. R is surface only, right? Surface radius. G surface into r square. So what do I get? 2 pi root r by G surface. Look, for Earth, the mass is 6 into 10 to the power 24 kilograms. G is anyway, how much? 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 SI units. All right, R for the Earth is 6,400 kilometers approximately. All this you put and calculate. Or you can calculate in terms of this also, 9.8, you can put here 6,400 kilometers, you can put here. So whichever way you calculate, you'll find that T equals approximately 84 minutes. Approximately 5,000 seconds. Which means it will take what? 42 minutes go there, 42 minutes come back. Or 21 minutes here, 21 minutes here, 21 minutes back, 21 minutes there. That's how things happen there.
Taking the center because it will be the mean position for us.
Yeah, that center will be the main position. There will be maximum velocity there, which you can calculate after knowing potential energy. That also will come again. Children. And first of all, realize that we start with a shell. And it appeared for shell, we took few things granted. Though I told you how to get it, I have not shown you deliberately how you may prove that inside it is 0. I did not prove. And outside also I've told you it is like a point mass from symmetry. We have not proved anything there, not necessarily to begin with. But as an idea, if you catch it, how that idea may be utilized in doing more things. So you should be highly focused, and the clarity, what am I doing, for what am I going to use it, that it's not one. I'll show you many more things now. It's not over at all. It's just the beginning. I'll spend a lot of time on gravitational field strength in a big way. Tell me, children. And I'll make few things. I'll just make few statements for you to come prepared tomorrow about this. This is what time period we got? Time period for the body dropped along a diametric hole. But remember, I'll go to the next page, supposing you finished. How many cases will be similar to this? I'll show you. Now, let us think there's a satellite going around the Earth. This h is very small if you think. This distance is r from the satellite to the Earth. If this h is very, very small, that is r equals r plus h if you write, and r is much larger than h, even that time period will be this only. That's one thing. Second thing is, not just diametric hole. You can make a hole along any card like this. Even for that, the time period will be still 84 minutes. What it means to say is, if you got a town A here on the Earth's surface and a town B, there may be two cities like that at the ends of a card. Not a bad idea. If you put a train here, leave a train here, of course you need to reduce the friction everywhere. Without fuel, the train will go there. People should get down. It will come back here. People should get down, get in. Like that, it takes 42 seconds to go there, 42 seconds come back. So you don't need to charge customers. You can have a ticketless travel.
But the mass will vary. Mass of the train will change.
Mass of the train will change. Why?
People are getting down.
It doesn't really matter on the mass. Yeah. It will not matter on the mass of the train.
Yes, sir. Test mass is not dependent.
Only real thing is, real practical issue will be how to make a tunnel like that, first of all.
And friction.
And then how to reduce the friction, how to power the whole tunnel. Isn't it? And how to consider the effects of non-uniformity. Few things will be there, but still, in principle, that is possible. Okay. And there are two more things anyway. It's time. But remember, I've not finished the discussion yet. So be careful, come prepared, and I want you to speak. This gravitation lesson is a good lesson, big lesson, and a lesson which helps electricity later. So before starting, I told you static electricity. This is the lesson I do because everything of this will come again. All right. So I'll be closing it for now. I stop the share. End the session.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you.